How's everybody? Just getting set up. Thanks for joining, and thanks for your continued support, you lovely people. Okay. Seems to be good. Let's get the computer magic on the go. Hey, Will, how you doing, brother? Tegan's in the house. What's up? Let's get the chat up on my computer. Jessica Herbert's in the house. How are you, lovely? Saskia Mia. Are some of you guys new today? Where are you calling in from? Arden's in the house. Oh, and Chris is here. Hey, brother, how are you? Chloe May. How's everyone? What are you doing? Where are you in the world? How's the vegan scene? Pascual Pina is in California. Wow. David Flores is in the house. Pete is in Detroit, Michigan. I didn't know there was a Woodstock in Oxfordshire. Very interesting. Will Chip, are you coming down to London for VegFest in October? I surely am. I'm going to be hanging out at the Vivo Live store. So I'm an ambassador for those guys now. So I'll be hanging out at their stall a lot. Brian Turner is coming. So I'm looking forward to meeting him. Or he should be coming. He broke his wrist, didn't he? Bless him. I think he'll be there though. And I'm doing a talk. One of the days I'm doing my talk. And the other day I'm on the Vivo Life panel as well. So lots to do. We'll be staying in London. So yeah, come and say hi. How many of you guys are going? Steve Smith is in the house. Oh, Saskia is in Leeds. I love Leeds. Were you there for the winter fair? Was it a fair winter market? Last year I went in and spoke there. That was great. Lovely town. Seemed very vegan friendly. Susan Skinner's in Nashville. Wow. Arden saying we could do with some more vegan restaurants in Oxford. I'm sure that will come. Keep demanding and they will supply. Things are going crazy in Norwich at the minute. We've got a supermarket on the cards potentially. Crowdfunders just started. It's looking pretty promising, so that'll be something. Natalie is in Manchester. What's up? There's so many people from all different places. Arthur Universe is in New York. Nice. Jessica, do you come to Birmingham very often? No, I've never been to that area. If there's like a larger kind of event, I'll no doubt end up there sooner or later. I know it's a big town, isn't it, or city? Just get a drink, wet my whistle as it were. Don't forget to thumb up the stream, guys, if you'd be so kind. It really helps us to reach more peapods. Sam is in Brighton. Nice. I love Brighton. I've been 3 times now for the Veg Fest. Very good. If I wasn't living in Norwich, I think Bristol or Brighton in the UK is probably where or where I'd live. Probably, we're looking to travel within a couple of years though. We really want to, Jem and I just really travel the world a little bit. And so I'm hoping the YouTube scene and my online coaching and stuff is big enough. It's pretty much there now, to be honest. So I had 11 plans to do yesterday, 11 nutrition and workout plans for people online. So that's huge. Steve Smith, I had my first experience of a restaurant with no vegan options in Devon. Wow. They're behind the times, eh? Echo is in Romania. Nice. Sean is in Hinckley in Leicestershire. Vegan Myra. Any ideas for a good place to do solo vegan activism in London? Don't know, that's very brave of you. Yeah, I don't know London too well. But anyone got any perspective on that one? You can do activism anywhere, really, can't you, you know? It's just having the will and the bravery. Be hard to do it on your own. Like, that's really cool. Very brave. Grilio, do I pronounce that? Will you go to London Veg Fest? Or come from Italy just for a chance to meet you in a few? Ah, that's really cool. Yeah, I'm there. I'm there both days. So, yeah, it'd be great to meet you, my friend. How's the vegan scene where you are? Phil, been vegan for coming up to a year, really struggled to eat quantity of whole foods. Yeah, it is. It's not necessarily easy, particularly if you're a larger sort of athlete. I think it is doable. Sometimes it depends on the quality of our gut health before we go vegan, you know, and we can often be like have injury there in one way or another, you know, bacterial overgrowth or just harm from eating an incorrect diet for years. So can be hard. That can be part of it. Are you an athlete, Phil? I'm not sure what Steve's talking about. Ah, this is Phil. I take a vegan society supplement for B12, etc. I'm 5'10", something on raised triathlons. Yeah. Energy levels seem low, so I need to see how to boost things. Great work. Thank you, my friend. So, you know, whole grains, some legumes, tropical and dried fruits. You know, I wouldn't be trying to stuff in a load of apples or oranges, but, you know, dates, figs, you know, the dried figs, like mango, all that sort of thing. It's a lot less volume for more calories, you know, more caloric density. Excuse me. So what have you guys been doing today? Have you had a day off, being this Sunday? I've been at the gym this morning. Otro, greetings from Peru. Wow. We've got the whole of the world in the room today. This is really cool. Vegan for 5 years. What would you say to people who say that we vegans are weak? What are your comments about B12? So I don't really tend to say anything. I just flex and I say, well, how come I'm twice your size, typically? So, you know, we can just be that example. And of course, you've got world-class vegan strength athletes. Kendrick Farris, the only American to qualify for the Olympics in Rio last time. And he actually, in the trials, in the combined lifts, he is actually the strongest man in America at those particular lifts. So, you know, that's huge. Patrick Bermudian's 3 world records. You know, we've got several vegans in the IFBB now, the most prestigious bodybuilding federation. There's several vegans. So if it can't be done, why is there an inordinate number of vegan strength athletes, you know? And B12, the science seems as though we do need to supplement. Something like 38% of Americans are reckoned to be B12 deficient. So it's certainly not just a vegan thing. And in fact, in my work as a nutritionist, I've never come across a B12 deficient vegan, but I have come across B12 deficient omnivorous eaters. So we just are a bit more clued up about it, you know. And, you know, we evolved in a environment where it wasn't sterile, you know. While we were evolving our physiology, you know, we didn't sterilize things, and the bacteria that produce the B12 were there in the soil and in the water. So times have changed, you know. It's not that veganism's wrong. It's that the climate, the environment has shifted, and we need to do something to address that. Damien's in the house from Gloucestershire. Nice, Eloise. Hi, lovely. Arfit Universe, let me know when you want to come over to the States. I would love to come to the States. I would be over there like a shot. I'm hoping maybe, you know, in the next couple of years, maybe, you know, maybe I'll get some speaking gigs or something. Maybe someone will fly me out, or, yeah, like I say, it's nearly sustainable now. I could nearly work from my computer now and just travel and whatever. It's pretty much there. Within the next couple of years, I know it'll be really sustainable. So I'll be all over the place. I'll have to travel around, meet some other YouTubers and some, you know, inspirational vegans and get them on the channel. That would be huge. Echo 1307. Does coffee influence gaining muscle or strength? It's actually a benefit. It's actually a benefit. You know, you don't want to do crazy doses, and there are negatives to caffeine potentially, but there are also positives. It is a bean. If you can use it judiciously, It does about 6 things to benefit strength and working out and potentially muscle building. I won't remember them all now because it's a while since I've thought about it, but it's obviously it's energy, it's focus, it's actually pain relieving. It does a few different things, and I've heard people say that caffeine is the most effective legal bodybuilding drug. So that's powerful. Coddy says new cred. Very important point that they're making. New cred. Arthur, my Instagram name is Brotherman Vegan New York. Yeah, New York representing. My Mrs. Gemma has been to New York. She loves it so much. Donna Dukes is in Ireland. Wow, well, I swear we've got every country covered in this. Well, not quite every because there's about 200, but we've got a good we've got a good showing. David, I had the courage to do activism here in Mexico, but they can easily send someone to shut you up. Okay, so like that is it. Do you know Gracia Villar? She's a cosplay YouTuber, really big following. She turned vegan about a year or 2 ago. She's really cool. Been chatting to her online. Would like to come to Mexico and hang out with her, actually. That would be cool. Oh, Alicia's in the house. Hi, darling. How are you? You're welcome. Phil Pete, tips for vegan trying to make some healthier lifestyle changes. You know, just get towards that whole foods as much as possible. It's a fact that the biggest killer of vegans is still heart disease, you know. And so that is oils, is particularly coconut oil, palm kernel oil, cocoa butter. So cocoa powder is like a better thing to eat if you want some chocolate. You know, just titrate down your junk foods, add in more whole plant foods. If you do it all straight off the bat, oftentimes you get a bit of a reaction from your gut because your gut microbiome's not set up with enough of the helpful bacteria. So just over the weeks, a little less junk, a little bit more whole foods. Base your meals around whole grain legume, vegetables, good range, little fruit, little nuts and seeds at each meal. That's how you should kind of visualize your plates going forwards. You know, and just know, like, the better we look, the better we feel, the less ill we get, which is all predicated, you know, a lot of these things on nutrition. The better example we are for animals. So maybe if you can't quite bring yourself to do the healthy thing for your own self, maybe think of the animals and be an example for them. And the you know, the side effect is you're going to feel and look amazing as well. So it's like, when you do good, the universe repays you, you know. Raw power, sprouted buckwheat in a blender with sugar and frozen berries. Oh, get that sugar out of there. You're very naughty. Very naughty. Just my perspective. Alicia, anyone got a whole foods plant-based stir-fry sauce recipe? Yeah, I don't really make sauces. I just steam fry with the old herbs and things, add in some spices, a little tamari, or sometimes I'll do like fresh ginger and lemon, or sometimes the odd 5-spice, but I don't really make a sauce. Yeah, that's a good, if anyone's got any recipes, send them my way as well, I'll be interested. Not really got too into sauces with the old whole foods, but it would really, really, really help. We had a stir fry last week, we had a roast dinner last weekend, and we revived our gravy recipe, which is whole foods, and it's really tasty, really delicious, just as nice as any other gravy I've ever had, but all whole foods. We actually made the thickener was gram flour, you know, chickpea flour, so it's pretty proteinous as well, really tasty. Pasquale, vegan scene not happening in Central California, it's dairy country dependent on agriculture. Just so you don't know a single vegan. Wow, that's shocking. That is shocking. Some places are slow to take it on, aren't they? But I'm sure, you know, over time there's these little hubs. Like in Britain, you've got Norwich, London, Bristol, Birmingham. You know, they're thriving. And then, you know, I think it'll happen, but it's going to take a little while, particularly in some places. Saskia, I've been vegan my whole life thanks to my mum bringing me up like that. Wow, what's that here? Activism ASAP. I think it's amazing. That is an amazing thing to do. That's very kind and Noble. How old are you, Saskia? How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? Echo, planning to start a microgreens business. Send some my way and I will big you up. We'll get you up and running. I'd like some microgreens. That's cool. Karen, you do awesome, incredible. Oh, that's a very nice thing to say. Thank you very much. Bless you. I like people. You wait, we'll get some trolls in there in a minute and I'll say, oh, I hate people. Connie, how can a woman be an example that you do get protein on a vegan diet? Just eat whole foods. Just eat whole foods. And like the least protein rich whole foods, which is fruit, is on average 5% protein. If you eat enough calories, when I write a plan for people, for non-gym goers, typically people get twice the RDA of protein that they need according to the World Health Organization. That's without even trying. But, you know, if we're going to eat much sugar or oil, you know, these things don't have protein and, you know, we can come up short. You don't need a whole load. And unless you're like a larger strength athlete, you know, then you need to pay a bit more careful attention. But for the masses, if you're eating whole foods, particularly some legumes, some whole grains, you know, a bit of veggies, little nuts and seeds, you probably get double the protein you want. Sam, I had a day off in my PJs and watching Weird Science. I remember that film. I was a young teenager when that came out. It was quite, I found it quite steamy at that age. Yeah, that was a funny film. Was that Brooke Shields? Was she the star of that? I think that was her. And she became Steven Seagal's wife, if memory serves. Race Lever's in the house. What's up, Racy? How are you, my friend? Good to have you on board. It's good to have a moderator. Oh, Kelly LeBrock, yes. Yeah, she did. Yeah, I got confused. But yes, she married Steven Seagal. It was Kelly LeBrock. That was it. Vegan Mira. Just started vegan activism last week. Went to 2 Anonymous for the Voicelesses and met some really nice vegans. Yeah, very friendly. And we met up again today at Speaker's Corner. That I want to try and cover other places. How cool is that? It's nice, isn't it, when you get some like-minded people on the same mission? So cool. Jessica Herbert, what is your opinion of Activism? Do you think it's effective? I know it's effective. It's huge. The point is to do messages that are positive. You might have seen a video on my channel. Look it up if not. It's a couple of years old. And basically there was a bit of a scene outside of McDonald's one day, and the McDonald's worker, my friend chalked on the pavement, "Have a happier meal, be vegan." And then this worker came out with a bucket of hot water and, you know, like a mop and whatever. And my friend like laid across the the graffiti, and the guy's manager says like, just do it, and like he threw the water over my friend. It made the newspaper and everything. And so the next day I organised, 30 or 40 of us turned up with chalk, and we chalked the whole plaza. Honestly, it's a funny video. Give that a look. If you look on my channel, on the main page, on the home page, it's under most watched videos. It's about the 5th most watched video or something. And, you know, it's not just the chalking that is the key, although that's raising awareness, but you'll sometimes get some very good conversations off of the back of it, you know, and people will ask you. And because they've come to you, it's not like you're being preachy and pushing it on people. Like they've asked you a question, and you can chalk things, you know, you can just plant seeds. Like, you know, you can ask, what do you think happens to the calves who the milk is stolen from? Or do you know what happens to male chicks because they don't lay eggs? Like, you know, things like that. Or you can say what happens. And people, a lot of the time, people are clueless. They do not know this information. And that just one little seed can be the start of someone going vegan. It's huge. I think, like, you know, some forms of activism are obviously more effective than others, but I think we need a good range of approaches. Well, I've lost my place again. Otro, 5 years vegan, straight edge, nice. That is very, I bet you're feeling amazing, aren't you? Oh, and Mira is just 14, wow, and you're doing the activism. That is very cool. You know, for someone of your age to like get it and want to do something for others, that is huge. You are wise, you know, ahead of your years, and that is really admirable. And, you know, you are, you know, I was about 36, I think, when I went vegan. So, you know, you're just so far ahead of me. That's huge. I don't think I would have had the bottle to do activism at that age. Like, you're doing so well. Like, you should be proud of yourself. That's really cool, and that gives me hope for the future, man. Frederic, can we get a round of applause for Mira in the comments? I don't know how to do emojis on here. Oh, yes, I do. Here we go. Let's get some emojis. Let's have some round of applause for young Mira. Actually, I think that, I'm guessing that's a young lady. She is cool as hell. Where's my clapper? Where's my clapper? Oh, I can't find it. Oh, yes, I can. Boom. Have a round of applause on me. Right. Let's try and find where we were. Oh, God. What's happened? How do I close this down? Well, my chat window's gone really small and I can't see anything. So that's terrible. Come off there. Type right. There we go. Yay. Federico, I follow a whole foods vegan diet since late December. What's your advice if I'm pooping and farting a little too much? Maybe replace some legumes with mock meat. Now, don't put those mock meats in there. They all play. So that'll actually feed bad bacteria. You know, you're saying you're pooping too much, but the fact is that the bigger your poops, the better your health outcome. There is a direct correlation between stool size and gut health. Half of that feces is bacteria, and it means like your good bacteria are flourishing. You want to be doing big old poos. And as for the gas, you know, that should soon take care of itself. I'm surprised you still got that going on after so many months. What can we say? Watch my video. I think it's entitled "The Number One Thing You Need to Get Right to Optimize Health." But if you type hench herbivore and gut microbiome in my search engine, or in YouTube in general, there'll come up a video all about, basically we need to really make sure that the good Prevotella strains of bacteria are flourishing. So it's feeding them the right things, which it sounds like you're doing, but it's making sure if you're drinking tap water, alcohol, if you've got toothpaste with SLS in it, which is antibacterial, if you're using a normal washing up liquid and you're not rinsing your crockery and your cutlery, you can inadvertently be killing all these good bacteria. Tap water's the worst. It's got chloride in, which, you know, it's there to kill bacteria. So they're experts in this burgeoning field of, is that the word? Anyway, the growing field of the gut microbiome is, you know, relatively new science, and it's key. It really is key. So maybe you're not got enough of the Prevotella strains to process the fibre and the resistant starch. That can often be the problem. But mock meats, they're going to be full of oils and, you know, isolated proteins, and they're just not healthful. I mean, you know, are you trying to put in more protein than you need would be one question that I'd come out with. You know, for most people, 45 grams for a female, 55 for a male, according to the World Health Organization, is more than enough for nearly everyone. So unless you're really seriously trying to grow muscle or something like that, I'd say maybe just tweak your total protein back a little bit. Or, you know, and the other thing is just to be consistent with your meals. So one day don't have loads of legumes, another day don't have like none. Just have like a moderate amount, you know, day by day by day. And, you know, your gut microbiome should get used to it if you're not killing them off. So you do all the other lifestyle habits to take care of them. maybe if you do need a little more protein, well, you can slowly up the quantities as your gut, your microbes multiply. They soon blossom. They really, they really grow like wildfire. JJ, hi. Do you take probiotics? Not in the traditional sense, but I do eat probiotics because they come in on the produce. So the healthy bacteria, the probiotics, they eat soluble fibre and resistant starch, which is found in insoluble fibre. So basically they're whole foods vegans. So where do they live? They live on your fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, whole grains, legumes, etc. So if you're eating those things, you will be taking probiotics. But the fact of the matter is, probiotics not so important. Like a lot of them don't survive digestion, but you will have these good strains in your colon. They will be there, and it's feeding them. It's prebiotics, which is important. So as long as you're eating lots of produce, all the different whole plant foods, like I say, they multiply out of control. They go crazy. So no need to do a probiotic. And the experts in this field, they say really, like, unless you've had a terrible infection, like a bacterial infection, and you've got dysbiosis going on, or if you've had to take antibiotics, which I really strongly urge everyone, unless you seriously need to do it and you've exhausted all other options, like, don't do it. Like, it really decimates your potential for good health. And some people say your gut microbiome will never truly recover from that, or at least it can take years. So try to avoid the old antibiotics. But if you do need to take antibiotics, the leading people in this field, Dr. Will Bolshevitz is Dr. B, he's called. He's on Instagram, and he's been doing a lot of podcasts and things lately. He's been doing the rounds. I'm going to get an interview with him soon, or I'm going to ask him, do a Skype interview. So he's really clued up on all this. And he says, if you're going to take probiotics, you really, to make any real clinical significant difference, what did he say, like hundreds of billions to trillions you need to be taking. An average tablet, what is it, up to like 1 to 5 billion count, and it might be 6 different strains. The most healthful people in terms of gut microbiome, people like rural Ugandans, and they're eating a whole foods plant-based diet, and they have something like 1,600 different bacteria in their gut. So to put in like 6 and to put in like 3 billion when your colon is home to 100 trillion, it's like peeing into the ocean. You're not gonna see any difference. But as long as you're eating those whole foods, you've got the prebiotics. Your probiotics will flourish in your gut. That's really the way to do it. Right, Steve, if you ever come to the States, you better come visit me, hench. I didn't even know you were in the States. Whereabouts? And I certainly will. I'd love to. I'd really love to do the round and just meet people and hang out and spread the message and just meet loads of like-minded people. I'm really I've never wanted to travel before, but I think since the vegan thing, I've come out of my shell. I've learned to be social and to enjoy that, and yeah, now I'm really feel confident and excited to meet people. And whereabouts are you? I'll see if I can get out there at some point. Guilio, boobs, keep fighting, yeah, it. We'll get there one of these days. Right, what is this jumped? Damien, how can my friend speed up her metabolism? She has a slow metabolism. Whole foods plant-based diet makes your mitochondria, the little motors of your cells, go into overdrive. It speeds the metabolism. So actually just eating a whole foods plant-based diet will do it. That's huge. Obviously, rest is important, like lifestyle factors, exercise. But yeah, the diet is key. And the other thing, if you're eating the whole plant foods, it's harder to overeat on calories. So if she's wanting to burn some fat off, it'll be a great thing. And Gemma's in the house. Remember earlier I was talking about this vegan supermarket in Orange, well, it's called plant-based. Well, it's going to be called plant-based. And this is the lovely Gemma Henchie. You're my favourite person, all the vegan love. Thank you, darling. I'm very fond of you too. How's it all going? And guys, if you want to, you know, if you want to help out the vegan thing, like, you know, for some of us, you know, we're not all public speakers or confident to do AV, or, you know, if you've got a spare £1 or £5, or even if you don't mind just to share articles out, it really helps the vegan movement. You know, if you're not, maybe some people are so busy with work they can't do other things, but maybe they've got a couple of spare £. So if that is you, or if you don't mind just to share this out, if you go to plant-based, is it Plant-Based Norwich on Facebook, Gemma? If we go over there and just share there's a crowdfunder. Yeah, Plant-Based Norwich on Facebook. Share the crowdfunder. I'm in the video, and Earthling Ed and the lovely Natasha and Luca from that vegan couple. It's on Instagram as well. Plant-Based Norwich. Please share that out, guys. And then, you know, Norwich is so good for veganism, but we haven't got a supermarket, and I want a supermarket, so I need your help, please. Michael Askew, nothing wrong with those arms. Thank you, sir. Plant-based gains. Baby, I've got a bag of snakes. Yeah, the crowdfunder is on Indiegogo. Link in the bio for Instagram. Honestly, guys, if you got £1, if all my followers put £1, she would reach the minimum she's trying to get for the supermarket if we all put in £1. I'm going to put a few squids in later on. We didn't have any. Oh, have we already done it? I can't even remember. Anyway, we're gonna. We tried to do it last night. What happened? Not sure if she had money on her card. Anyway, we'll make it happen. Fee Rietbergen. Hi from Holland. Hello, my friend. How's the vegan scene over there? I don't think I've heard. Sam Edgy, where's Gemma? She is started year 2 of her psychology and counselling course. It was her first day yesterday. She's got another day today. It's kind of every 2 or 3 weekends she's there at this. It's like a pop-up university. It's really, really interesting. And, you know, she's living her purpose with that. It's exciting to see her so happy and, you know, expanding learning stuff, being of service, like helping people. It's what makes the world go round. We call it the 2 needs of the soul. Like, you know, we have these 6 human givens, these emotional needs that we will fulfill one way or another. And those 2, being of service and learn, like expansion, they're the icing on the cake. And you then can have a real feeling of excitement and fulfillment from life, you know, which I get with my vegan advocacy and helping people with their health, you know. Good to see you in the same boat. French Blues in the house. Pete, would you ever debate a guy like Sean Baker on live stream? I don't know. I feel like there's people with better, like, quick fire, real nice sound bites. They can really quote the science, and, you know, they're research scientists. You know, I know of the studies, and I know what they like say, but I don't know that I can't go into details of the ins and outs of it like a Michael Greger could, or a Joel Furman. But, you know, Joel Furman is going on the Joe Rogan podcast to talk about this, so he would be a better, you know, advocate. Yeah. And also, like, although I've done a few sort of critique videos, I'm not a big fan of getting into the sort of negativity, and, you know, I try to walk a more spiritual, like, kinder path. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it, and, you know, if there was no one better to do it, like, you know, I wouldn't shy away, I guess. 9 card, 26, T26. What are your thoughts on spirulina? I've heard the fresh frozen stuff's better than the powdered. Only one company still in the UK. I've never heard about that, to be honest, so I don't really have a perspective. One thing I heard, I mean, Dr. Greger sort of lambasts it and says that it's nearly always sort of contaminated with, I think, heavy metals or something like that. Supposedly, the Hawaiian stuff is meant to be good, according to some people. So Gemma's been getting this powdered Hawaiian stuff, but I don't really know. I don't really know. Phil, like yourself, others are talking about CBD. Seems an odd high to get through things. What? Like yourself, others are talking about CBD. Seems an odd high. Sorry, I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. If you can clarify it. Just if this is what you're asking, it doesn't. It's got no psychoactive like element. It's not got no THC, so it's just the cannabinoids. But yeah, I'm loving it. I've just actually agreed to be an affiliate for CBD Armour. Oh, you said about relaxing you. Yeah, so it's like an anxiolytic. So it just you don't feel like monged out or anything, but it just like relaxes you in terms of like anxiety. So I just noticed at the camp out, I was about to do my talk. I think there was probably about 500 people. It filled up this huge, so almost like an aircraft hangar. It was like a big long thing, and must have been about 500. It's certainly the biggest talk I've ever done. And I was just looking across the crowd, just scanning across the crowd and looking at everyone, and I just noticed that my heart rate just had done nothing. It was like I was sitting in my living room, like chilling out. And I just thought, this is markedly different from, you know, it's kind of hard to tell because obviously I've been doing talks. You do get desensitized, but the last couple of talks really felt like a quantum leap in terms of my confidence. And I actually really had a lot of fun instead of just thinking, oh, let's just get through this, you know. Yeah, something else. I don't think there's much science yet. I don't think there's many studies been done, but anecdotally there are a lot of people speaking very highly of it. Dave Flores, I'm quitting oil this year, just like my resolution 2 years ago. Nice. That is the second best thing you can do, I reckon. I would say quit the animal products, quit the oil, then quit the sugar. Huge. Honestly, you'll just feel such a quantum leap in your health. Keep in touch, David, and let me know how you start to feel. If I have any oil now, which is very, very rare, I actually feel like clammy. I feel like my body knows it's in there, and I feel sort of sweaty and like my pores are like blocked. I feel odd if I have oil. Saskia, yes, so grateful to be vegan. 16 years for life. Wow. That's awesome. You're so lucky. Karen Corbett, Simnet Nutrition likes his sources. Yeah, he's got a few, hasn't he? He's really cool. Am I miles back in the chat? This often happens. Let's have a quick look. I don't like to get too far behind because I know when I'm watching a live stream, I get fed up and I think, get to my question or... I'm miles behind. Comment below, should I skip forwards a bit? Should I jump forwards? If you have left a question or a comment that's important that you wanted me to particularly read, pop it down again, but I'm thinking I'll just get up to date. Say yes if you want me to skip forwards a bit, or say no if I should just go through everything. I don't know why I ask, because you always say yes. Why is my computer not updating? One for no, and one for yes. Well, that's just confusing. More votes, more votes. Yes. If I have one more yes, yep, there we go. Right, I'm going to jump forward. So if I've missed your comment or question, feel free to put it again and I'll get to it. Jay Paz, let's have a big meetup. I thought you were going to say let's have a big up. I was going to big you up. Yeah, let's have a meetup. So really, London Veg Fest is the next event I'm going to. So should we do it there? I've got a meal with the Vivo Life lot in the evening. We'll make an event and we'll say come to the Vivo Life stand at a certain time. That'll be good. Whereabouts are you, Jay Paz? Whereabouts are you? Chris, we will be sharing to the opens, even though we're nowhere near Norwich. Thank you, brother. That is huge. Norwich is awesome in general. Yeah, I feel so lucky to live in Norwich. And Cape, when's the game changes out? God knows. But the minute they know, we will know about it. Don't you worry. Anytime now, which I feel like I've been saying for the last 2 years. I've heard they actually started re-editing it recently. Perfectionists. Be so worth it though when it comes out. Race leaver, nah, hence the best way to help the vegan movement is to give all your money to give your money to raceleaver.org. Give it to me. Jay Paz, Iceland now has a plant-based freezer. Wow. It's happening everywhere, isn't it? You're welcome, young Gemma, you're welcome. Your produce looked good today, which I saw from your allotment. That looks amazing. Tony Gomez, something about a castle and Argentina. Nathaniel Cheeseman brings up a good point. Puma, a type of mountain lion, I think. Fire Tiger, bing bong bang, hello people. Mystery Cat, how are you my friend? I remember meeting you in Bristol. Mystery Cat. Sound lad, I want to go plant-based, but I love eggs, and I'm starting college. Do you know recommendations for a substitute? Don't need to just. So if it's like scramble, like tofu is a real delicious way to have a kind of a scramble, you know. But nutritionally, like eggs are so low in nutrition, relatively speaking, you know, relative to fruits and vegetables, and they have a huge amount of, obviously they're the most cholesterol-rich food. They're like little cholesterol bombs, but also they have high amounts of choline. Now, choline not only makes it hard for your bloodstream to clear out cholesterol, so it's circulating through your bloodstream like for longer, it actually accelerates the atherosclerosis, like the deposition of atherosclerosis into your blood vessels. So you've got fat, you've got cholesterol, you've got choline. Every time we're eating animal products, this is happening on arteries. It's the biggest killer of humans. It's so huge. So I really recommend people not to eat eggs. Yeah, I mean, what is it that you're trying? How do you normally eat them? What would be what you're sort of replacing, I guess? And anyone in the comments, if you want to jump in, how you go about it. I don't really think in these sort of terms personally, because I just think legume, whole grain, veggies, little nuts, little seeds. You know, I'm looking at my plate from a new perspective. So I don't look in terms of sort of substitution. So anything you guys can think of, pop that in the comments. That'd be very cool. Elka's in the house. Hello, my friend. Alicia, I used chickpea flour and tofu. Yeah, so that, I had a chickpea flour quiche last night, actually. It was just like another quiche, but very good. House Vibes, do you know the name of the track in your intro? Yeah, it's called Hench Herbivore Theme. Hench Herbivore Theme. One of my clients made it for me. So you won't find that one on Spotify. I have got like a 90-second version of it. I think it's about 90 seconds. Sometimes put it in my vlogs. Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? Animatory. I really am making myself look like an idiot, aren't I? Do you? No, that's the wrong question. I know what you mean with the oil ice, not just me then. Yeah, it's weird stuff if you think about it. Like, back in the day, olive oil was lamplighter fluid, you know? You know, people in the Mediterranean, they're eating their fruits and veggies, you know, and the white beans and lentils. And then I guess someone just ran out of food one day and thought, oh, just have this oil out of my lamp. Couldn't see where he was going for the rest of the night. But he wasn't hungry anymore. Hey, okay, if I eat all that, I feel it for 10 days. Wow, that's even worse than I get it. Well. Our bodies get, you know, whatever ills we do to our bodies, they get used to it. And, like, it doesn't mean it's doing us any good, though, you know. It's better when you're in real time. Yes, 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 yes. Right, we'll keep up to date. Oh, there's a million yeses, which tells me I'm probably miles back again. Sorry. Andrea's finding fruit. Do you fast at all? I smash in as much food as I can, mostly low-calorie vegetables. And my idea is to get in as much nutritious food as I can. We'll flood myself with nutrients. I think it's the way other anthropoid primates eat. And our weight takes care of itself if we're eating a species-specific diet, is my view. And I physically would not be able to fast and eat enough quantity of food like I want to eat. So that's my perspective. I know people who fast and swear by it, though, so I'm not going to poo-poo it. Enderies plays. Oh, you're an Enderman. I know you said stay away from the mock meats, but have you tried Vivera steak? Phil D, so which is your next competition? Do you mean bodybuilding competition? And I've not actually done one before, but I'm thinking of taking one on next year, potentially. 80 Slim Shady, what's your take on Sferid? He reminds me of a zombie, in all honesty. From my perspective, he seems as daft as a brush. The body, do you know the ratio of turmeric to pepper that's required for boosting the bioavailability of curcumin? I think it's about 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper to 1/4 of a teaspoon of turmeric. So about half. Jessica Herbert, just wondering, how would you recommend approaching someone like yourself or other YouTubers if you ever see you at events? Just come up and say hello. Yeah. Yeah, I love to meet everyone. Like, some people worry, like, you know, is it a bit too much? You know, sometimes we'll get person after person, but, you know, it's just for a day or two. And then I'll go back to my normal life where people don't care about me and, like, you know. Am I still on? Yeah, I'm on. Let me just make a note. Share Facebook vids. So, yeah, just come say hello. Just say, oh, watch your videos, whatever. And I'm all about hugs and just meeting people and finding out about them. It's really nice, you know. And sometimes with this YouTube game, yeah, I'm really pleased to have hit 30,000 subs. And when I first started, I always looked to 30,000 thinking that's something to really, like, you've sort of made it if you get to 30,000. But now I've got there and I'm thinking, no, you really need 100,000. And it's just a number on a screen and it's not irrelevant, but it doesn't really mean anything. But when you meet like these individuals, like one after the other, it really hits home to you. Bloody hell, like, these people are all saying I'm doing a good job and they've got love for me. And it just, like I say, we need to be of service. So people telling you you're doing a good service, thanks. So yeah, just come and say hello because I really appreciate it. And don't be nervy because I'm just a guy in my living room. I've just put my camera on. Anyone can do it, you know. I know it's not easy for everyone straight off the bat, and it certainly wasn't for me, but it's a skill that most people can learn. And I'm no one, but I love to meet people. Plant base, we can do a hench meet up for fans. Yeah. Shall I do, if you're up for it, I'll do a grand opening and we'll invite people there. Yeah, we'll do a meet up there. Yeah, I wonder if that would get. Yeah, that ought to do something, didn't it? Dave Flora, it's been so hard to quit oil, especially when you go out with friends and the only vegan thing yeah, fries. Yeah, sugar's the next thing I'm quitting. Good man. Love it. You won't regret it. Sorab, how do you complete your daily calcium? The The same way I complete nearly every micronutrient. When I look at a meal, I look at it legume, whole grain, vegetables, little fruit, little nuts and seeds. All the nutrients take care of themselves. It's all in there. You know, where does calcium come from? For, you know, when we, like in the era, when we drink cow's milk, like the cows don't make the calcium, it comes from these long, thin green leaves, which we call grass. You know, there's calcium in so many different things. If you're eating enough calories and you're eating a range of food, which we should always eat a range of food for our health, have a look on the Chronometer app. If you're eating enough calories, if you're eating some legumes, some whole grains, fruit, veg, nuts, seeds, herbs, spices, you're gonna be getting nearly everything. Nearly everything. What's particularly good for calcium? Leafy greens are particularly good for calcium. Some fruits are really good, like oranges and like some of the dried fruits, apricots and things, and just apricots in general. But I couldn't really tell you much more than that because, as I say, it's just in the food incidentally. As long as we're eating enough whole plant foods, you know, enough calories, and we're not eating too many of our calories from things like oil and sugar, as I say, or white refined flour. You know, it's all in there. Michael, I wish someone would take Sverige anywhere with no bars on the window. He should, yeah, he's very silly. Daniel, avocado on toast, similar to eggs on toast. Never tried that. Vegans greater than Siths. You know, this thing with Sean Baker, did he have some bloods done recently or something? No, his bloods were crap, weren't they? He's talking about some study or something. Do you know the whole thing, like, with the odd person, like, I mean, he's doing terrible, come to think of it, so I don't know why I'm bringing this up. But as an aside, sometimes people can have a genetic mutation. I think it's something like 1 in 40 African Americans have this mutation, whereby they can eat a standard American diet and have as good a cholesterol score as a whole foods plant-based eater. You know, so one of those people could do this kind of carnivore type eating and have like reasonable bloods and show that and say, oh, this is great, like, look at what it's done for me. But, you know, they can be an outlier and they can seemingly be getting away with it. But eating meat, you know, very much meat at all, let alone all meat, sooner or later, like, if you're not getting heart disease, you're getting like cancers. You know, you're not feeding the good gut microbes, you're feeding the bad ones, which only create toxins. They don't create these short-chain fatty acids, which are the bedrock of our health, physical and mental. You know, it's just some crazy, crazy people. They just don't understand that, you know, they didn't need to heal the gut. And they've got this problem, they're putting in some plant foods. Because they've got the problem there, certain things, oxalates, salicylates, histamines from plant foods cause this reaction. So, of course, by taking out the plant foods, they're not getting this reaction. So they say like the meat is healed. But no, the meat is not healed. They're just not getting the symptoms at the minute. But probably they're harming, well, they will be harming the gut further, you know. These high sulfur-containing amino acids produce hydrogen sulfide, which it can cause cancer from, you know, it chops up the DNA of the colonocytes, like the colonic mucosal cells, the cells of the colon wall, you know. They're just so short-sighted, people. Anyone who's got half an idea about the gut microbiome would know, like, it's so obvious, like, you shouldn't be putting any meat in your colon, let alone nothing but meat and no fibre to feed the good bacteria. Like, it's just pivotal. It's just madness. Sound lad, omelette. So, yeah, we sometimes make omelettes with chickpea flour, gram flour, put in a few herbs and spices and some veggies. I think it's just water and gram flour, and you just heat it like on a skillet or frying pan. Charlie Kelly, do you buy bottled water instead of drinking tap water? No, we've got not a distiller. We've got a filter, a water filter. It's called Berkey. It's really good, and it takes out everything, including chloride, which are real small molecules. So a lot of filters do not take out chloride, which I think is the #1 thing we need to be avoiding from tap water. Jackson, is that a leather couch behind you? No, I think, well, I don't know for sure because it was here when we moved in. It's very thin. I think it's faux leather. William Bowes, I've taken sugar most of my life and it's never affected my health. How do you know? How do you know? Gemma's breaking in. The thing is with health, you know, atherosclerosis, you know, just people can say I eat McDonald's every day and it's not affected my health. The next day they can drop dead of a heart attack because you can't feel atherosclerosis like filling up. So that is a very short-sighted thing to say. And also, sugar feeds bad bacteria. The good guys, the Prevotella, they all eat soluble fibre and resistant starch. The bad guys, the Bacteroides, they eat animal proteins, fats, sugar, alcohol. They eat everything but. And what does that tell you about what we need to put in for optimal health? But, you know, if you want to eat sugar, like, go for your life. That's up to you. You know, you're not hurting anyone else. So, you know, that's good for you. How are you, Gemma?
I'm good.
Gemma's back. I'll be done shortly.
Okay.
And I might make a roast tonight. What do you reckon?
Oh, okay.
Oh, god damn. Talking about that earlier has got me hankering for a roast. Alex, I know you advocate whole foods, plant-based, but do you take any supplements or shakes? So yeah, being a larger strength athlete, like, it does behoove me to have a little more protein. So I have a couple of scoops of Vivo Life Perform Protein. Link in the description. Code HENCH10 for 10% off if you want to give that a go. It's the best protein, in my view, by far. Other than that, B12 because we don't drink untreated water. D3 when the sun's gone away like it has at the minute. And another one worth considering is DHA, EPA DHA, the long chain omega-3. If we're eating a bit of chia and flax seeds, maybe a couple of tablespoons, and we're not eating too many other nuts and seeds relative to that, then our omega-3 and 6 should be in balance. We should have enough of the enzyme to elongate the plant version into the long chain of each. And good health. If we've got too much omega-6, it can get used up. Some people have a genetic defect whereby they don't produce the elongase enzyme, or there can be other reasons as well. But if we can't convert the ALA into EPA and DHA ourselves, it would be terrible health ramifications down the road if that was unaddressed. And so just as a safeguard, 250, 300 milligrams of EPA DHA a day as a fail-safe. And then you'll definitely be A-OK. Right. Oh, this really jumped. I'm going to just jump forwards a little bit because we're going to finish up in a minute. So I just want to be a bit more up to date. Vegan for Life are the best workouts for glutes and legs. Hip thrusters with a barbell across your waist and your shoulders elevated on the bench. That's #1 for glutes. And obviously you want like a squat movement pattern in there as well. And I'd say like a Romanian deadlift, something like that for the hamstrings. That would be your core. Oh, I got miles behind again. Leroy, hi Paul, do you know what to eat if you want to gain weight fast and easy? Whole grains, legumes, tropical and dried fruits, smoothies, little nuts and seeds, judicious use of a little protein powder if you want to, if you're a larger strength athlete. Laura, can best anti-inflammatory smoothies foods just whole plant foods in general, but particularly turmeric with black pepper, your greens, like the more alkalizing foods. and important as well. As I say, omega-3 and 6 blends. You don't want your 6 much higher than your 3. Right. Boom. It's an hour. We've done an hour. I'm going to sign off now because I've got to do live now. We're going to make a nice roast dinner. So I'll just put some, chop up some potatoes into small bites, cover that in like garlic powder, onion powder, sort of herbs and stuff, maybe a little salt, a bit naughty. We'll steam a load of different veggies, and I've got a nice little nut roast which comes from artisan grains. You just add water to it. It's actually pretty good. It's mostly whole foods, and it's all right. And I'll make like I say, if you want to make a whole foods gravy, if you type hench herbivore gravy, you'll find my recipe. It's delicious. And it's just as good as any other gravy I've ever had. Guys, if you're new here, if you want to have the ultimate, optimal physique, or if you just want to optimize health without harming the animals or the environment, hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon so you're notified of new videos and new live streams. And I really appreciate you all spending some time with me on this lovely Sunday afternoon. See you soon, guys. Bye-bye now.